Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Oner First Thoughts. This is the edition of our show that is spoiler-free, where we don't talk any spoilers. If you want the spoiler discussion, that will be in the longer edition of the show, the longer podcast version of the show. This week, we are talking about Project Hail Mary from Lord and Miller. This movie it's the biggest movie in the world right now. I'm in a hotel with very fun lighting. I'm filming a movie right now myself. On location, and so I have my little lighting rig set up here. But Project Hail Mary, did I like it? And if you've seen the movie, you know that means this, which is a little bit of a spoiler. I know that this is supposed to be the spoiler-free edition of the show, but I'm not telling you why that means that. It's good. It's really good. This movie has a ton of hype around it, and the question on everyone's minds is like, is it worth the hype? And I will say, I think if this movie suffers from anything, it suffers from too much hype. I feel like everyone that is seeing it after like the first week is going in with a head full of internet hype and their friends and different forums and YouTube channels telling them what an amazing film this is and what an incredible cinematic experience this is. And so everyone's going in thinking this is going to be the best film I've seen in the last 10 years. And somehow, if it doesn't live up to that very, very, very high mark, you're left feeling like, rather than just going, oh, that was really good, the like what I heard walking out of the theater, I went and saw it with a big group of guys. I saw it with Kramer, and a big group of guys, and everyone was just sort of like, yeah, that was all right, that was okay, and I feel like I was the only one that was like, I thought that was fantastic, that was great, but I did catch myself a few times kind of wondering, like, oh, when is this movie going to really get inside my heart and my soul and show itself to be the one of the greatest films of the 2020s? And what I think it is I just think the movie is suffering from like having so much hype around it that it can't quite live up to whatever someone has in their head. And then all of the comparisons as well, I think, don't do the movie any favors. Everyone's saying, oh, it's the new Interstellar, it's the new 2001: A Space Odyssey, it's the new The Martian, it's, and it's its own thing. This is a genre in and of itself, kind of the lonely space explorer, the lonely interstellar space explorer film, where someone's out on a mission to save mankind. Sunshine is a film like this too, where either one person or a team of people are on a very solitary, high risk, low percentage of success mission to save the world, and it deals with the scariness, the vulnerability, the loneliness of space, the vacuum of space, the mystery and the unknowability of the universe, and asks there's all these interesting scientific questions that you get into with movies like Interstellar and The Martian, and we definitely get into that nerdy science teacher stuff here with Project Hail Mary. But I think that like prepping people to compare it actively to Interstellar or compare it actively to The Martian when they go to watch it, or compare it actively to a buddy film where a human makes friends with an alien like E.T., I think that does a disservice to the film, because again, it's just watch this movie for what it is. Obviously, it's going to be doing little homages here and there to the films that came before. Lord and Miller are huge fans of all of those films, and they are not shy about wearing some of that influence on their sleeve in this film. But like, sit back and enjoy the magnificent cinematography of Greg Fraser, and understand how much of this film was shot practically in camera, and enjoy that. Enjoy what they were able to do practically in camera without AI, without and enjoy Ryan Gosling in one of his most just like fun, likable performances of his career. He's always great, but this is a really solid one. And I think this movie is going to age really well. I think as people who had really high expectations for it, or who were told it's the new Interstellar, it's the new E.T., it's the new Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's the new 2001: A Space Odyssey, and then we're sort of let down. I think as they watch it, in years to come, they're going to be like, actually, this movie was awesome. I watched a movie last night that was sort of like this. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, was on TV. I'm in my hotel, and I hadn't seen it since the theater. And that movie suffered just from being compared to Mad Max Fury Road. Like Mad Max Fury Road is like a darn near perfect film, and everyone that went to go see Furiosa was like, if it's not as good as Mad Max Fury Road, I'm going to be let down. And it's just a very different film. But I watched it last night in my hotel, and I was like, this movie's incredible. It's amazing. And I remember seeing it in the theaters and thinking, that was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought George Miller was going to be stretching himself a little thin and maybe going back to like the well of this world one too many times, just trying to cash in on the success of Mad Max Fury Road. I didn't know what he had to say, if anything, narratively in this world. And I thought that the structure of Furiosa was really interesting. I liked how different it was from Mad Max Fury Road while still having all of the great elements of a Mad Max movie. And as far as like the Mad Max films are concerned, I've seen all of them. Furiosa is easily the second best one. Like the first best one is Mad Max Fury Road, and then Furiosa's like right underneath it. And I just think Project Hail Mary is going to be like that. I just think that like in the annals of this kind of space movie, once people get used to the fact that it's not trying to out Interstellar. It's not trying to out The Martian. It's just trying to be the best version of Project Hail Mary that it can be. And once people just watch it through that lens, they're going to be like, oh yeah, this movie's fantastic. This movie's really great. Not that like people aren't liking it. It is a very well liked film. It's doing really well critically and with audiences, and I believe at the box office too. And something happened with this film that almost never happens. This is based on a very, very popular book, and a lot of the people I went and saw it with had read the book. And usually when I see a film that's based on a book, if it's a solid adaptation, like if I like the movie, I have no reason to go read the book afterward. I'm just like, nah, I like the movie. Like Kramer and I just did the Lord of the Rings trilogy. When I was a kid, I read The Two Towers. I don't know why I only read that one. I don't know why I didn't read all three of them. I just read The Two Towers. And then I didn't read the other. I just was like, I like the movies. The movies are good enough. And if there's a good enough film adaptation of a book, I'm just like, I'll stick with the movie version. That's just me. I'm a big movie fan. And this is the first time that I've watched an adaptation of a book that I have not read. And at the end of it, I was like, I'm going to go read that book because I wanted more. And not in a bad way, not in like this movie, like it was a little underwhelming. I feel like the amount that they're able to fit into a little over 2 hours is a lot, and they balance it really well, and they pace it really well, and they keep it really engaging, and they're able to hit all of the emotional markers that they need to hit really well, and reveal the right things at the right times. But there was just like stuff about the science and stuff about how he's surviving out there in space and stuff about the relationship between him and Rocky that I just wanted more of. And that's not a spoiler, him and Rocky. Rocky's in the trailers. Ryan Gosling meets an alien in this movie and they work together. It's in the trailers, okay? I'm not spoiling that. But there's just like more about their relationship that I was like, I want the book version where I get to like spend more time watching them develop their friendship and develop their, kind of their ideas together and work on the science of this plan together. And so I'm doing a lot of driving coming up. Like I'm out of town for this movie and I always drive to the different sets that I go to. And on my way home, I'm listening to Project Hail Mary because I want to go back into that world and I want to know what's up with the book. And I think that's a compliment to the movie, not a knock against it. But I'm excited to get into a more in-depth conversation about this with Kramer, and I'm going to turn it over to him. Take it away, dude.
Thank you, Austin. Project Hail Mary. Me and Austin went and we saw this together with a few of our high school friends, which was a lot of fun. It was really packed theater. It was a really good experience. And honestly, this movie is really, really good. Okay. It deserves all the praise that it's getting. It deserves everybody going to see it. It's making a ton of money at the box office. I'm very happy about that. I think everybody should go and see this movie. I think you should see it in a theater. The sound is amazing. The visuals are amazing. It's a really, really good story. Really, really well done. Phil Lord, Christopher Miller directed this movie. It's been a while since they've directed a movie. They have produced a ton. They've been a part of some really, really amazing movies. Whether they wrote it or they produced it or whatever the case is, this movie they actually directed it. And they've been working on this movie for like 6 years. I heard in another podcast that I was listening to. They've been working on it for a long time. Drew Goddard wrote the film. Really well written. Just really well acted by Ryan Gosling. He is, brings a lot of emotion. Sometimes he's a little too like emotionless, but this one, I felt like it was a perfect blend. It also fit really well with his kind of comedic style that he generally does. So it's definitely a comedy drama. There's a lot of drama, but there's probably a little bit more comedy. It was a lot of fun to watch. Most of the movie, I was laughing and I was very engaged the entire time. So this is a really good movie to go see. Here's the thing: lower your expectations. I was hearing a lot of really great things about this movie, and it is great, but it's always good to kind of go in with low expectations, because even though I was trying to keep my expectations low, they were still probably a little too high. Because one thing about this movie, it's a little too long. The end just goes on a little bit too long. I don't know if it necessarily worked as well as it could have. It's not a huge knock on the film. It worked really well. I like where it ended up. I like how it ended. I liked how everything came together. But Lord and Miller kind of, it's an interesting way how they structure their films, and this is similar in that way. If you've seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, you might know what I'm talking about. They kind of seem to go with like a 5-act structure. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can structure a film, but it works out. I am so jealous of how good of filmmakers they are. They were able to make it all work and really bring in the heart of the movie. And I mean, this is no spoiler because you see it in the trailer, but if you haven't seen the trailer, then don't listen to this. But the fact that they have a character, an alien character, and we get to really relate to that character is just a testament to how good of filmmakers that they are. You really feel for both of these characters, for all the characters. I mean, there's really only like 4 main characters. There's some tertiary characters, here and there in some scenes, but I mean, it's really mainly Ryan Gosling and this other alien character, and then the woman, and she brings a lot in the small screen time she has, and then the kind of like Secret Service guard guy who's in The Bear, who does an awesome job too. His name is escaping me, but we'll talk about it in the full breakdown. But like I said, me and Austin saw this together, so it was a really fun experience. I think you're gonna have a good time. And I think a lot of people, as we've seen, are really loving this movie, and it is well deserved because it's a lot of fun. They bring something, and I know it's based on a book, but I'm considering this more of an original movie because it was based on a book, not a remake or a prequel or sequel or anything like that. And this is really good for an original movie. And I go out and see it. Let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did Rocky work? Did everything work for you? What did you like about it? Did you like Ryan Gosling? Let us know. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all these things. Look out for our full breakdown, full spoiler filled breakdown that will be coming out sometime soon. And let us know what you think about it, and we will see you on the next one.